Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am talking about Dot and his 6-month update. It's so almost bittersweet, not bittersweet, maybe that's not the right word, but it's so emotional for me. He's our last planned child. I've enjoyed every second of his babyhood. I don't know if that's what you call it. I've enjoyed every moment of breastfeeding him, of waking up at night to comfort him. Like, because I know he's my last, I've just made sure I've savoured every moment, and I really mean that, and I truly have. I've only had a couple of days where I've just kind of broken down and just been like, oh my god, this is so hard, but for the most part I've loved every last second of it. And so him being 6 months old, which is tomorrow, by the time this gets uploaded it will have been a few days, but yeah, it's just so bittersweet because we're gonna start weaning him tomorrow. So like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but like, his poos are gonna change, you know? There's like, things are gonna change for him. It'll never be the same again. He's no longer just gonna be a breastfed baby. He's gonna be having food and stuff, which is fantastic, and I'm so glad, you know, he's well enough to do it and all these kind of things. But just he's not going to be a baby for much longer, you know. He's already crawling everywhere, which I'll get to, that's part of the update. But yeah, it's just, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. Wonderful, but just, it makes me sad as well. So yeah, anyway, let's get to the update. So he's 6 months old tomorrow, which is on the 18th of February. So whatever date this goes up, he would have been 6 months on the 18th. And he's just, like, he's done like a couple of seconds of sitting unaided, but not much really, because he started crawling at 5 months and about a week old, so nearly 3 weeks now. He's been crawling since then, and so when you sit him down to sit up, all he wants to do is get straight onto his tummy and just crawl off, and he's getting really fast with the crawling as well. So he does like commando crawling, and yeah, he's fast, and he's gonna be doing proper crawling really soon, because he's already like going up onto all fours and doing that thing where you rock back and forth, which is that's just before they start doing like big proper crawling. So he's doing that. But yeah, today I was sat on the floor and I sort of had him sat between my legs, but my legs weren't touching him, and he just sat there for a while, like must have been half a minute. So he can pretty much sit unaided now. If he's content, he doesn't necessarily want to crawl off, he can just do it. It's amazing. It's amazing how early he's doing all these things. For sitting unaided, he's about normal. But the reason why I think he didn't do it earlier is because all he wanted to do was crawl. As soon as you sit him down, he wants to just go off, because he can move around and get to the stuff he wants to, which is fantastic. As for feeding, he still feeds pretty much every 2 hours. He has super short feeds. I can't seem to make him feed anymore. If I try and like almost stretch out the time between feeds, like if he has a long nap or something, he doesn't feed for longer when he wakes up. He still only does maybe, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, maximum of 5 minutes on each breast, and sometimes he doesn't even want the second breast, he'll only have one. But I think I've got a very fast letdown, so I think he gets a belly full quite quickly. So there's that. And to mark his starting to drop feeds, I have got my period back. So it started on Thursday, so you know, he's practically 6 months. If you don't know, basically when you breastfeed, for most people they don't have a period while you breastfeed, but as he's starting to drop feeds, it's starting to come back. It all started about a week ago, and just over a week ago, and I said, gosh, I said, it's crazy, I feel like I should be having a period, but I'm not. I've got all these, you know, symptoms like feeling horrible, achy back, all those things, but no actual loss, so to speak. And then yeah, Thursday night that started, and it's back like it used to be, really heavy, really painful, really horrible. Yeah, so I think my body started to return to normal, which I think is part of why I'm feeling quite emotional about everything. Not because you get emotional when you're having a period, but just because as well my body's actually getting back to being how it was pre-pregnancy, and it's just a reminder that everything's kind of, he's growing and it's all coming to an end. You know, it's just, it makes me feel sad. With weaning, we're going to have quite a lot of challenges because he's dairy and soya free. So the good thing is, because I'm dairy and soya free, I already know everything that he can and can't have, which is great. So he can have literally anything I can eat, as long as it's not salty or spicy, he can have, which is fantastic. So we can literally share all our meals together, which is lovely. I might not be doing what I have for breakfast for him, because I have porridge for breakfast and we're doing baby-led weaning. So he'll be having more sort of finger foods. I mean, he will have porridge at some point, but I don't want to kick off with something so messy and sticky as well. So I'm going to give him more like fruit for breakfast and maybe some toast, stuff like that. Although I don't actually have any bread right now. I need to go get some bread, I think, so that I have some bread and he can have some tomorrow as well. Sorry if I keep staring like next to me here. I've got a wall here and I'm pretty sure it's just popped up a new crack since we had that earthquake today. Yeah, we had an earthquake today, which is mental. And I can just see this crazy crack in the wall. It's really thin. It's really, really, really thin. But I'm sure that's new. I'm pretty sure that's new. Anyway, I digress. As for clothes, so he's now in size 9 to 12. I say now in, he's just transitioning to size 9 to 12 months clothes. So he's a big boy. So yeah, he's at 5+ months, just about 5 months old. I had to go and do the 9 to 12 month shop because I could see that his baby growths were getting too small for him in length, and like the foot size, the sleeve size, they're too short. He's outgrown them. So yeah, so I've had to go buy some new ones, which I've not put him in yet, but I really kind of need to, because his other ones are just getting a bit too small. But oh, it's just so cute seeing him in them. I love his old baby growths, they're beautiful. So yes, I've kind of been holding off putting him into these ones. For sleeping at night, he's bed sharing with us. So I haven't uploaded, I filmed a video all about safe bed sharing. So I'll make sure when it's live, I will link it in the description box below. But yeah, we bed share, so he sleeps between us on the bed. We follow all the rules of safe bed sharing, so we make sure we don't drink anyway, really, so that's never an issue. We're not smokers, and we don't do drugs, so all of those things we don't even need to think about. But yeah, we make sure he's got like really good space between us, and we move our pillows right off the edge of the bed, so we've only got what we need on the bed. So you know, he's not like next to the pillows or anything. He sleeps on top of the bed in a sleeping bag. He does sleep on his side because that's his choice. And literally, if you push his shoulder down so he's rolled back onto his back, he immediately rolls onto his side. And because he can roll both ways and quite competently, he should be fairly safe to do that at this stage, because there's no way I could keep him on his back. In the cot, he's the same. As soon as I put him down in the cot, like in the morning when I'm getting up, I transfer him to there so he's safe. He immediately just rolls onto his front, so that's the way it is. But he likes rolling, he likes being faced to me and couched up to me, because that's what he likes to do at night. And it's lovely. I love bed sharing with him. I never thought I'd be the kind of person to do it, because I always thought, oh, it's so unsafe, you mustn't ever do it. But actually, after looking into it, as long as you follow the safe guidelines, it's not so bad. He absolutely adores his big brother. It's the most lovely thing, and his big brother Squidge loves him as well. They're really besotted with each other, and it's lovely. Yeah. Dot is always trying to crawl up to Squidge, and Squidge is always walking up to him and giving him big hugs and kisses and cuddles, and oh, it's just lovely. I've got a photo which I'll put here, where they were sat on my lap, one was on each leg, and Dot just kind of rested his head on Squidge's shoulder and then was just holding his back, and it was just so heart melting. Oh, it's just lovely. I know there'll be 1,000 times where they fight and are angry and it'll be difficult, but for now they love each other, and I'm just going with that and accepting it. As for a dummy, so he's had a dummy since he was, what was he, 7 weeks old, I think? 7 weeks old, and the day we gave it to him, he only accepted it if he was tired, and that night he slept through the night, and he did for the next 10 days, and then he just stopped sleeping through. And he's pretty much not slept through since. And that's fine. I take the rough with the smooth. This is one of the reasons he bed shares with us, is because I can just feed lying down, he can feed and go back to sleep. It's much less intrusive than having to get up and kind of pick him up out the cot, sit up in bed, feed him, and risk me falling asleep with him on my lap. So doing it this way just works better for us. Yeah, but he still has a dummy. He has it sometimes when he's not asleep now, because if he's just a bit grizzly, because he's teething at the moment, and also because I had a slip up with dairy. He's gone through a bit of a tough time, so he kind of needs the comfort of it a little bit more, but we haven't found that it has sort of stopped him feeding. He has no sort of nipple confusion, as they call it, from it, which is great. He's happy to have it. The only thing that has happened, and it's nothing to do with the dummy, is he now has an aversion to having express breast milk from a bottle. So there is kind of usually one day a week where he might need to have express breast milk, and he's just refusing it right now. He just will not let the bottle anywhere near him. So it makes things a little bit more difficult for me, especially with the fact I'm supposed to be going back to work in 3 months. I just have to really persevere with the bottles. I don't really want to change bottles. I'm using the MAM bottles, which are self-sterilising, and they're fantastic. I don't really want to change, but I guess if he's refusing them, then maybe I have to. There is another brand, I think they're called Mini Bee, that do teats that you can use with MAM bottles, and they're supposed to be good as well. So I might give them a try and just see if I have better luck. We'll see, we'll see. I'll come back to that another time. And lastly, he's also started swimming lessons. So he started swimming lessons about, gosh, must be about 4 or 5 weeks ago, something like that. 4 or 5 weeks ago. Yeah, probably 5 weeks ago, because he's got one left and he missed the first one, yes. So he's done 5 weeks and he's got his 6th lesson tomorrow. Yeah, he loves it. He's great. The only issue we have is the timing of it. So his brother goes in first at like 2:30 until 3, and then Dot goes in from 3 until 3:30. But they're supposed to be fed about no later than really 2 hours before the lesson, which gets really difficult because he's fed every 2 hours. So if I do that, by the time he goes into the lesson, he's hungry and he's tired. So I have to try and feed him later than that. So I tend to feed him, so his lesson's at 3, and the latest I can feed him is about 1:45, because we leave at 2 to get there. So I literally feed him pretty much as late as I can get away with, and we try and get him to nap right up until that point. So we kind of wake him up, change his nappy, feed him, and then put him in the car seat and off we go. But what we're finding is that at that time, what am I going to say? What we're finding at that time? But what we're finding is that I'm feeding him, and yeah, by the time the swimming lesson comes along, which is just an hour and a quarter later, he's starting to get tired and hungry again. And I don't really know how to get around that, because I can't feed him poolside, because he really could be sick in the pool, which is obviously a no-no. And yeah, so I don't really know the best way around that. I'm just kind of hoping it'll get better, maybe with weaning, as he's having food and some solids, maybe that'll keep his tummy a little bit more full for things like that. I don't know. We're just gonna have to persevere with it and just see how it goes. But that's it really. He's doing amazingly. I've got no issues, no concerns with him whatsoever. Developmentally, he's doing everything ahead of time really. He's kind of said mama a couple of times, but when he's distressed, and then he stopped saying it. So I think, as much as I said, oh look, he said his first word, I think it was way too early. So yeah, but a lot of the time he'll look at Matilda the cat and he'll go ah, like that, which is really cute. But yeah, so he does stuff like that, but he's not really talking or anything yet. He does really like standing, and you can literally, if you're sat on the floor with him, you can just hold his hands, so you're not supporting him at all. He completely supports his own weight and balances himself and just stands there. And like, if you let go of him, I'm pretty sure he'd be able to stand by himself for a few seconds. It's crazy. He's like, you know, almost 6 months old. It's just mental. Yeah, I think he'll be pulling himself up on furniture soon. I don't think he'll be cruising quite yet, but I think in the next month he might be starting to pull himself up on things, because he keeps seeing things on the sofa he wants to get to, and he tries to reach up and he can't, but he's strong, so I wouldn't be surprised if he starts pulling himself up soon. So we'll wait for the next update. I'm going to try and start doing monthly updates, and hopefully they won't be as long as this. This was a big one because this was a 6-month update, but after that there'll be much less to tell you. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go because I'm really concerned about how long this video is going on for. I'm gonna have to edit quite a lot out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit subscribe as well so you don't miss any of my other videos. I've got video series going on, I've got all sorts of cool content planned and coming up, so don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the bell as well if you want to get notifications when I post a video. I will catch you guys on my next video. Bye!